Hi, welcome back to Shannon's Plants Planting Time. How are you today? Today we are going to talk about a care plant, or the care of a certain plant. And that plant today is this big boy. Oh, if I can lift it up. Ooh, ooh. The Dienffenbachia. This is, I believe this one is the Camouflage version. I think it's very pretty with these large, luscious leaves and this pattern on them, and you can't see it, but it kind of shimmers, almost like it's got a glitter when the light hits it just right. And this one's doing good for me. It's putting out new growth here and here, and overall it looks good. So let's talk about the Dienffenbachia. It is also known as dumb cane because when cut, it releases a toxic sap that has oxalic acid in it, which can cause swelling of the mouth and tongue and increased salivation, and it can cause temporary loss of speech, and that is why it's called dumb cane. And they used to use it in the olden days for all sorts of terrible things that you can imagine you could use that for. So when handling this plant, especially, like, I pruned off some branches that were brown, some leaves that were brown before I showcased him, of course, because I wanted him to look as beautiful as he should for you. So I have a stalk right here that is leaking that sap, and I'm being very careful not to touch any of that because I would not want to get it in my mouth and have to go to the hospital. I'm not sure what the treatment is for that, but it doesn't sound very pleasant, and I don't want that to happen to me. So if you have children or pets, this might not be the plant for you. Now, I do have pets, and I do have children, but they're grown, so I don't think they'd eat the plant. But, no, in all seriousness, my pets, don't touch my plants. So, I think we're pretty safe with it. But anyway, it comes in so many varieties, and they're just beautiful and can really dress up your home. And so we're going to go into care requirements for the Dienffenbachia or dumb cane. As far as light goes, it can handle filtered light to medium light. I tried putting this without filtered light in my southern facing window, and that is why I had to trim off some dead leaves before I showcased them, was because I didn't filter the light and it burnt the leaves. So you might experience it burning of the leaves if you place them in any kind of bright indirect or non-filtered light. So mine sits about 8 feet back from a north-facing window, but he gets ambient light from plenty of grow lights. So I think he's pretty happy where he is in terms of light. As far as soil goes, you need a well-draining mixture, and you need to keep it evenly moist but not soggy. They don't like wet feet like most plants. So as far as water, You need to water when the top 1 to 2 inches are dry, and that for me on this plant is about every 1 to 1.5 weeks. I think I water him, and it will depend on the amount of light you're giving them. Of course, higher light situations will require more water than lower light, and then in winter you will back off of that watering a little bit. As far as temperature goes, they can handle temperatures 60 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but yes, anything under 60, you start getting under 55, they're going to start having brown spots and experiencing a lot of trouble. And anything over 80 is not good for them either. So as far as growth rate goes, they're pretty fast growers, depending on the species, and there are a lot of different species of Dienffenbachia. I looked on the internet, and just looking on there was like a list of 20 different kinds with their patterned, their foliage patterns and pictures of them. So if you're interested in that, you can go and look up. There's just a bunch of beautiful ones. I know I mentioned that already. But they can grow anywhere, depending on what species they are, from 1 to even 8 feet tall. This is a big boy. I have a feeling he's gonna get big. So humidity, they do like humidity. If you start experiencing browning of the leaves or the edges of the leaves, it might be a humidity problem. You should place them closer to your humidifier, and or if you don't have a humidifier, create a pebble tray with water and pebbles, and place them in that tray to increase the humidity around the plant. Really, the humidifier is the thing that I've found that works best for humidity instead of trying to mist or create pebble trays. I have 2 humidifiers in this room, and this room is only probably 8 by 10. So if that tells you anything. And the humidity stays around 70% in here. I'm not saying that these plants can adjust to average home humidity, because they probably can. But in my case, I do keep them in my plant room in a more humid environment, and I think he likes that. As far as fertilizer goes, I personally fertilize with liquid dirt and Super Thrive every time I water. But if you don't want to go the liquid dirt and Super Thrive route, then I totally understand, and you can just find a well-balanced fertilizer, like a 10-10-10, and fertilize every 1 to 2 times a month, especially during the growing season, and then you back off on that, and if he's not growing, don't fertilize. As far as propagation goes, you can do stem cuttings or division if you want, but be sure to wear the proper equipment when you do that. That includes gloves and eyewear, because you would not want that toxic sap on your skin. It can cause burning. You would not want it in your mouth. Be very careful when you're propagating these not to get that in your mouth, and you would not want it in your eyes either, so eyewear would be appropriate. As far as common pests, they get spider mites and mealybugs, as do many of our houseplants. So be vigilant about that. Maybe spray them prophylactically with neem oil. That is what I do. So yeah, that is the care on the Dienffenbachia, also known as dumb cane. So this was a quick little easy video give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down depending on what you think of this content. I hope it helps you take care of your Dienffenbachia, and I hope to see you in the next houseplant video. Bye!